What if I told you there's a place where death doesn't rest? An island so cursed that even the bravest souls refuse to set foot on its shores after sunset. This isn't fiction, it's Poveglia. Imagine standing alone at midnight, surrounded by crumbling ruins and rusted iron gates. You hear footsteps behind you, but when you turn, no one's there. Then comes the voice, a chilling whisper calling your name. Would you run, or would you stay to uncover the truth? Poveglia sits silently in the Venetian lagoon, but don't let its stillness fool you. Beneath its soil lie centuries of suffering. This island has witnessed horrors beyond imagination. It's a place where the past refuses to stay buried. But why does it haunt us? What secrets lie hidden beneath its surface? And why do those who visit leave forever changed or never return at all? Let's begin our journey into the shadows of Poveglia. In 1793, Venice faced a plague epidemic so devastating that officials turned Poveglia into a quarantine zone, a dumping ground for the sick and dying. Thousands were shipped there, never to return. They called it the Island of No Escape. But what happened to those who didn't survive? Historians estimate that over 160,000 people died on Poveglia during the plagues. Bodies were burned in massive pits, their ashes mixed with the soil. Locals claim the ground itself is toxic, poisoned by centuries of human remains. Some say the air smells faintly of charred flesh even today. Is it imagination, or something darker? The plague ships arrive daily, their decks littered with corpses. Desperate to contain the outbreak, officials chose Poveglia as a quarantine zone. Families were torn apart as the sick were dragged onto boats and sent to the island. Many never saw their loved ones again. Survivors spoke of unimaginable horrors. Patients were left to die in overcrowded tents, their cries echoing across the lagoon. Others were burned alive in mass cremations. The smoke from the pyres rose like a dark cloud over Venice, a grim reminder of the suffering endured on Poveglia. Even now, locals whisper about the island's curse. They say the spirits of the dead linger, unable to find peace. Visitors report hearing agonized screams and seeing shadowy figures wandering the ruins. Is it history repeating itself, or is it something more sinister? Fast forward to the 20th century. The island became home to an asylum, a place where patients vanished without explanation. Locals whispered about cruel experiments conducted by a deranged doctor. Some say his ghost still roams the halls, dragging victims into eternal torment. Is it true, or is it all legend? The asylum opened in the early 1920s, but it quickly gained a reputation for cruelty and despair. Patients described it as hell on earth. Stories emerged of a sadistic doctor obsessed with lobotomies. His methods were barbaric, his tools primitive. Witnesses claimed they heard agonized cries late at night. Some even swore they saw him throwing bodies into pits of lime to dispose of the evidence. Was he mad? Or was he possessed? Then came the fire. In 1968, flames engulfed the asylum under mysterious circumstances. Official reports blamed faulty wiring, but survivors spoke of something else entirely. One nurse recounted seeing a figure cloaked in black walking through the inferno untouched. Another insisted she heard laughter amidst the chaos. Could these accounts simply be trauma-induced hallucinations? Or did something supernatural ignite that blaze? Today, the ruins stand silent, or do they? Visitors report strange phenomena, disembodied voices, sudden drops in temperature, and apparitions appearing out of nowhere. Paranormal experts have tried to investigate, but many flee before completing their research. What drives them away? And what awaits those foolish enough to linger? Here's the twist. Not all stories end with closure. Some remain open wounds, festering in the shadows. Deep beneath the asylum lies a hidden chamber, sealed shut for centuries. Local legends speak of artifacts tied to rituals older than recorded history. But what's inside? And why does everyone who tries to open it vanish without a trace? In recent years, brave explorers and paranormal investigators have ventured onto Poveglia. Few have returned unscathed. One group reported hearing faint whispers coming from the walls themselves. "Help me," the voice pleaded over and over again. When they pressed their ear against the cold stone, the whispers turned into screams. Others reported seeing shadowy figures darting between rooms only to vanish when approached. Some claim the spirits of patients still roam the halls searching for justice or revenge. And then there's the story of the Red Door, a rusted, blood-stained door deep within the asylum that no one dares to open. Locals say it leads to the doctor's private chambers, where his most horrific experiments took place. Those who've tried to force it open swear they felt icy hands pulling them back. One man claimed he saw his own reflection in the door, and it smiled at him before vanishing. What lies beyond that door? And why does it seem to pulse with a faint, unnatural glow at night? We're just scratching the surface. Next time, we'll step inside the asylum itself, the heart of Poveglia's darkness. Who or what was locked away within those walls? And can science explain the unexplainable? Stay tuned, because next time, we'll uncover the truth behind the Red Door and reveal the horrifying secret that ties everything together. If you're new here, hit subscribe so you don't miss our weekly deep dives into history's greatest enigmas. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next episode. Trust me, you won't want to miss this.